Okay, so this will be a one-take tutorial on how to use cyclers, and so yeah, to start off with, you can download some like pre-made ones here on speedrun.com/L4D2/resources down here at the bottom. No, wait, not at the bottom. Sorry. This thing, the single key campaign voting cycler script. You download this, you get a file which has for all campaigns, legacy, and main campaigns. So this is the main campaign cycler here. Now this is probably very confusing to look at. So basically what I'm going to go over here is like how to use it and also how to reorder campaigns. So as far as how to use it goes, you're going to want to like for the purpose of the tutorial, I'm going to assume that you're running on version 2000, the release version of the game, which can be found in the Left 4 Dead speedrunning Discord, which you can find the link to on the Left4Dead2speedrun.com page. Basically, you're going to want to go to the, your version 2000, click on the folder Left 4 Dead 2, and then CFG, and then you want to put the main campaign cycler CFG file in here. Then, if you don't have, well, first of all, you're going to need to have file name extensions enabled here under View in File Explorer. And if you don't have an auto exec already, you're going to need to make one. So you just make a new text file and then call it auto exec. Don't put the one at the end. I'm just doing that so I can actually like make a file. But you just need to name it autoexec.cfg without the one. And then in your autoexec, you're going to want to write somewhere exec main campaign cycler. That way, when you start up version 2000, it will always open the cycler. So now, once you have it saved there, down here, this first thing is the most important bind in the cycler, because that is what will vote for a campaign change and then put the cycler at the next campaign in the order. So technically you could just only use this first bind, but I think that's kind of pointless to just only use this one because it just makes things more complicated for you than it needs to be. But basically, to explain further what this first one does, what you would do is at the end of a campaign, say you bind this to the key F5, which is what I have it bound to, but I don't recommend using F5 because it's very out of the way. I would recommend using something that you can easily reach, but not something that you're going to accidentally hit. So say I'm at the end of Dark Carnival, I'm about to enter into the escape helicopter. Just as I'm about to enter, I press F5, it votes for the next campaign, which for me is Parish, and then I don't have to do anything else until the end of Parish. When I'm about to enter the Parish helicopter, I press F5 again, and that votes for my next campaign, which is Dead Center, and so on. So it automatically moves to the next campaign in your preset order when you press the vote key. So that's what this first bind does. The second one will vote back to the first campaign in your order, and then set the order to start at the first campaign again. So that way, it's it's resetting the thing. And then these last two are if you were to say for instance, if you're about to get into the Dark Carnival helicopter and you accidentally press your vote key twice, so for me it would be F5, then that would put my thing at Dead Center, which I need it to be on, it would put it on Hard Rain, which I needed to be at Dead Center for the end of Parish. So these bottom two things just allow you to move one step forward in the order and then move back. That's all these do. I would recommend having them bound because it's just good to have in the event you accidentally press the button too many times or something. Or if you're going out of the, if you have your splits to a different order and you don't feel like rearranging your cycler. So yeah. Also, another tiny thing that I forgot to mention, this is going to go in the middle of the video somewhere. in order to bind these, you need to erase these double slashes because that comments the line out, so that way the game doesn't interpret the line at all. You just replace insert your key here with a key of choice, let's say K or something, then they would bind the the K key to that. If you want to do stuff on the numpad, it kind of depends. You can ask in the Discord if you're not able to figure it out, but like say for the plus sign on the numpad, it's KP underscore plus. And the other like things kind of follow the same logic. So yeah, that's basically it. Now, how to change the order of the campaigns. So for me, let me get my actual cycler open. I do Dark Carnival first, then Parish, then Dead Center, Hard Rain, Swamp Fever. For main campaigns, it's really up to personal preference. You should always do Carnival first to kick the bots at the end. Well, 2 of the bots at the end, because you need 1 to do the Dead Center and Swamp Fever finale tricks. But after that, it's really up to you what order you do them in. Like, it's personal preference, but I mean, I would argue that this order, in my opinion, is pretty good, but others would disagree. So, I mean, again, it's personal preference. You figure out which campaigns are harder for you. But Parish, I definitely think, is a solid contender for second, like, most annoying campaign and reset heavy because of map 2 and 3. Or not map 2, whatever, but that's besides the point. So, like, how to reorder it, right? So, the default one comes with this order. Now, say I wanted to, well, the default one isn't, I wouldn't even say correct order, because you wouldn't start with Dead Center, you'd start with Carnival. So, basically, all you have to do is, where it says Campaign 02, you just change these to 1s, and then on the other campaign, you just change these to 2s. And then that's it. If you already have the game open, you just need to go into the console and type exec and then main campaign cycler again after you save this, and it'll change. Other than that, that's how you reorder it. And you can adjust the order to be whatever you want it to be. But obviously, in the case of main campaigns, Carnival always goes first. Now, I'm going to go over all campaigns just a little bit here because things can be a little different, especially now compared to like the original cycler. So, as you can see, it's the exact same thing. The binds are the same. It's just with more campaigns. The difference, though, with a modern all-campaign cycler is that the route is different. Because, like, for one, this cycler was made back when realism was a yes or no thing. Like, you would either have to play the whole thing in realism or only play not in realism at all. But, like, nowadays, like, you can mix between realism and normal, like, non-realism campaigns. So, this is my cycler. As you can see, the numbers are way out of order because mine's reordered. Down here, you can see I have disconnect map with realism at the end, co-op. So, like, things can be done differently to suit the situation. In this case, you start off with passing in single player on expert, and then because you vote to expert or on the finale, because of the so there's a vote cooldown on version 2091 in case you don't know this, and because you vote to expert at the end of the finale to kill the bot so you can walk to the escape vehicle, the vote cooldown would then prevent you from voting to the next campaign. So campaign 2 is Dead Center, at least in my order, which is like the, let's say, the meta order, unless you're doing Swamp Fever first to get a tank boost. So instead of voting for L4D 2 C1, you are just disconnecting to the main menu and then selecting Dead Center manually. Because you need to go into single player, so that way you only get 8 gas cans in the finale. You could do a map command, but then you'd get 13 gas cans in the finale, and that's just not optimal. So that's the reason why that would be just a disconnect. And then campaign 3 is Carnival, because then you kick all the bots. So then that's a disconnect and then map realism. So from Carnival onward until the final campaign, you just play in realism. Now, wait, do I have a... Yeah, I have to adjust my cycler. Sacrifice should be a vote and not a disconnect map command in my order. But yeah, so like in the case of all campaigns, like after you kick all the bots, you just play on easy until you do Swamp Fever at the end, which is a disconnect and map vote, so you get the bots back, so that way you can do the finale trick to get back into like the starting area for the god spot. So yeah, like basically, like to put it simply, like the cycler works exactly the same. It's just more complex because there's more campaigns and the alls route is a bit weird. So like you have these disconnect things which you would press the button for after the finale finishes and not before you're about to finish it, like you would with a vote, because you can't vote once a campaign is complete and the cutscene starts. You have to vote like as you're about to finish. But with disconnect map votes, you have to do it after the flash to the cutscene happens. Now I will go over Left 4 Dead 1, since Left 4 Dead 1 cyclers are again like the same as far as how the binds work and everything, but slightly different for like two reasons. So Left 4 Dead 1. Where's my... So, at least for Left 4 Dead 1 original campaigns, this cycler isn't on the internet anywhere, but I'll probably post it to speedrun.com when I upload this video. But this is like kind of like the modern cycler, because I'm pretty sure the one that's available on speedrun.com is just like votes, which isn't ideal at all for original campaigns, because original campaigns is played in version 1.0, and if you map command to the next map, the cutscene is skipped, so you save a bunch of time by not having to watch the cutscene, and all the bots spawn in the same location, so you can shotgun them down really easily in the beginning of a campaign. So everything is a disconnect map vote, and I've also added a separate bind, because basically like when you've press your key to go to the next map, which for me is F5, sometimes the cutscene skip won't happen and it'll start playing the cutscene. So this extra bind, all it does is resets the map, and that way it should skip the cutscene. So yeah, that's basically that. The other difference with Left 4 Dead 1 is that the map names aren't L4D, like the campaign number, like for example, Carnival's C2 and then M1 for map 1 _ highway, whereas this is the like kind of like internal names for like No Mercy's Hospital, Small Town is Death Toll, Airport is Dead Air, and Farm is Blood Harvest. So I mean, like you can just, if you were to make this on your own, like you can just look in the map list and figure it out. But like that's the main difference. But I'll be posting this so you don't have to figure that out. But just remember to change the binds to what you want, so that way, like it's the way you want it. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I should go over. For the case of any cycler, it goes into the CFG folder. And yeah, like of the given version. I'll also put out a cycler that has the last stand included in it. I don't know if I'll fix the order so that way it's like the current world record routing for all 14 campaigns. Not that that routing is very like finalized, but I'll probably just match Charlie's routing and then post that online as well in the resources section on speedrun.com/L4D2. So yeah, that'll be it. If you have any questions, just ask in the Left 4 Dead Speedrunning Discord. I would prefer if you do that instead of leaving comments in the video, because it's just easier to... You'll get a response much faster than waiting for me to see your comment and reply to it. And just trying to go back and forth in YouTube comments is just annoying. So yeah, that's it. Take care.